Check it out.
Oh, it's
beautiful.
so beautiful.
So nice out there.
Aren't you glad we open up the curtains and the blinds? You can see outside our window. Yeah.
Just makes me so excited to get out there and enjoy.
I know, right? Oh, I was at the beach last night. It was so nice.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Summer is almost here, and over the past few decades, the season has been warming here in Maine.
And meteorologist Christian Bridges is here to break down how much warmer summers are now when compared to the past century, and definitely a lot warmer.
Yes, that's for sure. Across all of Maine and really all of the country, we've seen this noticeable trend of summers getting hotter. And if you've lived in Maine a long time, you probably have even noticed it yourself, in your own backyard. More hot days, more hot and humid days especially. That's what we've really noticed a big increase in. So again, across the country, we've seen this increase in summer temperatures. The southwestern U.S. looks like they have seen the highest increase in temperature, but it's been pretty noticeable here in New England as well. The average temperature has increased by between about 1 and 3 degrees here in Maine. So that means that, those days on average are ending up a couple degrees hotter. And over time, that sort of adds up. And so over the past half century or so, since 1970, we've really noticed that warming. So let's take a look at our map here. We've got most of the country seeing that warming. And as we head through Maine, as you can see a little bit closer here, temperatures have increased the most in far southern Maine along the coastline from the Portland area through mid-coast Maine, also extending up towards places like Lewiston and Augusta. That's where temperatures have increased on average by about 2 to 3 degrees since 1970, with Saginaw County seeing the biggest increase of 2.4 degrees. The rest of the state still has seen a notable increase, but slightly less than that zone of orange you see there on your screen, with 1 to 2 degrees of warming since 1970. And again, we've seen the ocean temperatures warming quite a bit, and this is probably part of the reason why coastal areas have seen it a little bit more notably than inland areas and up into northern Maine. So for Portland specifically, summer temperatures have increased by 2.6 degrees since 1970. You can see that really clear trend here. Since 1970, in the past 54 years or so, we've seen that temperature increase of about 2.6 degrees. So yeah, summers are notably warmer now than they were, when your parents or grandparents were here in Maine a few years ago, or 50 years ago or so. And in terms of those hot days, we see about 15 more above average days now in the summer than we used to back in 1970. So kind of an interesting trend there. I mean, if you love warm weather, I'm sure you're pretty happy about this, but again, it's definitely been something that has made things maybe a little more uncomfortable in the summer. Maine used to be a place where you didn't really need air conditioning in the summertime. With 15 more days of, warmth and humidity, that maybe makes people change their minds a little bit, maybe more people using air conditioning, energy use increasing in the summer. A lot of implications from this with the increase in those warmer days. And of course, our summer outlook. I'm sure many will be happy to see this. I know I am pretty happy to see it. Above average temperatures, highly, highly favored June, July, and August. So most indications are we're probably going to have a pretty warm, pretty humid summer as well. Slightly above average for precipitation, warmer than normal temperatures. That means more hot and humid days, and that lines up really well with those trends that we've seen since 1970 over the past 54 years. So it'll be interesting to see how this summer ends up, you guys. Of course, we don't want the humidity. We want those nice dry days like we're seeing today and like we saw yesterday, but we know we'll get at least a couple of them. Last summer, we were really lucky. We actually didn't have so many humid days. We were plenty of warmth, but yeah, maybe we'll get lucky this summer and get, mostly dry warmth. That's what we want to see.
That's what
yeah, if you live away from the coast and you live on a second, floor or third floor or something like that, you need AC.
Oh yeah,
you
definitely.
need that. Yeah.
It's brutal. And we saw on your graphic, it's not to say that every single summer, was up.
Exactly.
But overall.
Yes, the general trend doesn't mean that we're, not going to get cool and wet summers.
Right.
I mean, 2 years ago, you guys, we had that very cool, very wet summer. We didn't even hit 90 degrees the entire summer. So yeah, it's an average, so it does sum up all of the, warmer than normal years and the cooler than normal years as well. So yeah, just because temperatures are warming, doesn't mean all summers going forward are going to be perfect and hot and sunny. So, but still, interesting to see. And I haven't even thought about putting my AC in just yet. So maybe starting to change now, starting to think about it.
I know. I just had this thought last night because I got the ceiling fan going.
Yep.
to sleep, and I was like, oh boy,
Mm-hmm.
it's starting to just feel a little bit like almost AC
Oh
time.
yeah, you
Yes.
go out. When I went
Yeah.
upstairs last night, I could feel
Yep.
the heat.
Yep.
But at night though, I just cranked open the windows, had the fan
Yeah,
on
you're
low, and
right.
it was fine for right now.
Yeah. right now.
Still crisp and cool at night, but I think by this point last year, I had my AC in already, and I think I had used it a couple days. So kind of interesting to see the variation from year to year.
All right.
The beauty of heat pumps, by the way.
That's
I
right,
know.
yes.
You lucky dog.
Yes,
Yeah,
and a money-saving thing
Right.
to have as well, right?
Yep.
Well, if you've got any weather-related or heat-related questions you'd like to ask our Weather Authority team, you can email us at weather@wgme.com.
All right, thanks, Kristen.